Protocol layering. So this is the best idea to devise a technique to define a network using layers and protocols. So the network is quite complex, or the design can be very complex. The best way to reduce this complexity is we can divide or define the network in a proper arranged and organized manner. For example, a stack of layers we can define, or levels we can define, and each one over another. For example, some party is there. You can assign food to some person. You can assign welcome to another person. For example, logistics can be given to other person. You can give some, bouquet, etc. work to some other person. So you have divided your party and given tasks to some people. Now it will reduce the complexity of your work. So this is the best way the protocol layering can help. So we need to organize in certain layers. There are different reference layer. The prominent one and the most known ones are ISO OSI layer and TCP/IP layers. And please remember, they are only a reference model. One more thing you have to understand before you go to protocol layering is the number, name, contents and the function of each layer differ from network to network. That is, one network and another network, they will be having different kind of number, name, contents and function, right? This is very important aspect. Okay, so network to network it will differ, but the whole idea is the layer concept is known. So layer is nothing but a virtual say idea being given to you. It's a virtual machine. So they are offering, every lower layer is offering some services to their upper layer. OSI reference model, TCP/IP reference model. Again, let me tell you, they are reference model. That is, it is your responsibility as a network designer that you have to implement it. Now, I'll give you an example. If you have some idea about programming, especially the object-oriented programming, here the concept of object is all about hiding the data. You are making abstract data type. You are making a capsule, that is data encapsulation. You are not exposing it. So you are making a class. You will write all the variables. Then inside this class you will have functions, that is operations. So what you are doing is you are making a class, or you are hiding content, variable and function, and then again you are with different technique, that is the public, private, protected. You are trying to enforce the information hiding, encapsulation and object-oriented programming. So the implementation is not is sometimes the framework you give, and the implementation is left over to the developer. Here in the case, it is the network designer. Okay. So these layers we'll be discussing at stretch. In protocol layering, we have different layers, and these layers are basically based on certain concept and protocol, workability and the services they are offering. For example, network layer will be, I'm talking about two machines right now. So one machine say M1, so other machine say M2. Now we have say layer N. So the nth layer will be talking to the nth layer of the second machine. This is what we see. And they will be say coming together for a protocol. That is, there will be rules and convention. On the basis of these rules and convention, they will talk. They will do the conversation. That is the protocol. That what will be the header size, what will we do, what is the packet size, all these. So protocol in all is an agreement between the communication parties. That is, how are we going to communicate? What are the underlying aspects? Details. I'll give an example. If a girl meets a man, there will be different scenarios. If she is a woman American lawyer, she will shake hand in a business meeting. But in if a European princess is there, or say an English princess is there, in a formal ball, you may get a kiss. So this depends on the protocol and the scenario and the situation. No American lawyer is going to kiss you for the first time. That is not a protocol. So here is a 5-layer network. And here all the dashed line you see is what you see as the actual conversation. Layer 2 is talking to layer 2. Layer 3 will only talk to layer 3 because they have some common protocol. Layer 2 will not talk to layer 3 because they don't have a common protocol. But the actual communication is not horizontal but vertical. From layer 5 it will go to 4, 3, 2, 1, and through the physical medium it will again go up in the different machine from where layer 1 to layer 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So the layer 2 and layer 2, they are friends because they are talking in same protocol. They are called peers. On a different machine, the same layers are called peers. These machines will be peers. Layer 4, peers. And these peers can be anything. For example, they can be software processes, a software program. It can be hardware devices. It can even be human beings, mostly in application layer. They are peers. Please remember, no data is transferred directly from layer 2 to layer 2, layer 4 to layer 4 like this. The layer end to end, it doesn't happen. Each layer will pass the data and the other information, ancillary or control information, to the layer immediately below it until it reaches the lowest layer and finally to the physical medium. Layer 2 will give it to layer 1. Layer 5, from layer 5 it starts. Layer 4, then it goes to 3, 2, 1. Finally, it will be given for final delivery. And this below layer, which is below the layer 1, is the actual physical medium, the wires you see, the transmission media you see. Here the actual communication will take place. Right? This is the actual coaxial cable. It can be fiber, it can be transmitting of bits is happening. And the most important thing is between each layer, there will be an interface. That is, every layer junction is an interface. So this interface is most important because this interface is defining the operation and the services and the work and the offered services from the below layer to the upper layer. That is, layer 1, 2 will tell you what layer 1 is supposed to give to layer 2. The services it is going to offer, the operation it is going to offer. So this interface makes our life very easier because the protocol and implementation can only be changed here without even bothering about changing anything about layers. For example, communication network can go to the satellite communication. So you just have to change the interfaces. All these protocol implementation can be done in the interface layer rather than actual layer level. So when we are talking about protocol layering, it can be ISO OSI layer, it can be TCP/IP layering scheme or the reference scheme. The set of layers and protocol, they all are combined and they are called as, a collection is called as network architecture. So a network architecture, whichever you do, we'll be talking about various network topology architectures, etc. So whatever you choose, or as a network designer, you ought to give, or you are supposed to give the specification of this architecture so that the actual implementer, a person who may be writing network softwares or a person who is making a network hardware, they can make it following and obeying and conforming to all the protocols. So a set of layers and the protocols is called a network architecture. The list of protocols used by certain system, one protocol per layer is called protocol stack. What I am trying to say here is, for example, we have a ISO OSI reference scheme we are using. Now we have 7 layers here. Every layer and one protocol in this layer. For example, the top layer, it is saying we will use HTTP. Likewise, every layer, the protocol is defined. So combination of this protocol along with this list, or one protocol per layer, this list of protocol is protocol stack. Now, how does the communication is taking place in the layering scheme or the reference models, TCP/IP or the ISO OSI? Let us take a very general example. So if you see here, there are 3 layers. This is one philosopher. On the other side, there is another philosopher. These philosophers, because they are on the same layer, they are peers, they are friends. They want to talk. But one of the philosopher, he can only speak Urdu and English. The other one, he only knows Chinese and French. So there is no common language between them. So they will engage a translator, or they will hire a translator. Now these two translators of different philosopher, they are at layer 2. So they are peers, because their whole work is translation. Now each translator will also have a secretary. They will hire a secretary who will be actually sending the data. Now philosopher 1 wants to send a message. For example, he wants to send I like rabbits. Orictolagus caniculus, rabbit. Now he wants to just send I like rabbits. This has to go to philosopher 2. How does it happen? He will pass a message because he knows only English and Urdu, so he'll write in English and it will send it across this 2-3 interface, layer 2-3 interface, to his translator. That is I like rabbits. Now the translators at level 2 or peer 2, they have already decided that we will be talking in the Dutch language. Their language spoken in Netherlands, the Holland. So they change the message into some Ikwind, Conigen, Leok, like this. I may not be pronouncing it perfectly, but this is what they finally decide, and they write change. Now this choice of language is totally dependent on protocol 2 layer. They can define Hindi, they can define say any other language. Now because they have converted it to the Dutch, now they give it to the translator, is giving it to the secretary. The secretary is sending it. Now these level 1 secretary from both the sides, they have agreed upon that they will be sending it using fax. They would have decided they will send it by say email or phone. So when the message arrives at the other secretary, because there is a proper transmission, bits transmission level. Now the secretary on the other side, philosopher 2 side, the message it gets, now it will be changed. It will be given to the translator from layer, because the philosopher has to get either in say Chinese or French. So it is the work of the translator to convert this into French. Then only this French language can be given, because the Dutch has to be converted into French. So the conversation, you can see that various parties are agreeing upon certain facts. And then finally the communication is taking place. Each protocol is independent of another, only the interfaces are changed. For example, the layer 2, they are translating. They can change it into Finnish. They can change it into say Hebrew or Arabic. It doesn't matter. Because finally, it is layer 2 to decide what language they choose. Okay. Now coming to the first layer, the secretaries, they will decide we don't want to send it by fax, we'll send it by email or telephone. So this is the agreed upon protocol between them. This is how the communication happens, and I like rabbit is transferred to philosopher 2. Now I'll show you the actual conversation, how it happens in the scenario of network protocol layering, ISO-SI layer or the TCP/IP. So here we have 5 layers, 5-layer network. Now the first layer, or the topmost layer of the left hand side, you can say the machine 1. It is sending a message called M. There is a message. Now this message, it will be sent to layer 4 of that protocol layer. So now the message at level 4, the layer 4 will add a header, say H4. So it will contain the addresses where it has to go, the sequence number if the packets are divided, all these. Okay. Now this will be sent to layer 3. Now layer 3, we have, because there may be limitation on layer 3, that this is not the size, this is the shorter size you can send. So layer 3 will divide this message M into M1 and M2, and it will add its own header, H3. So M1 and M2 will have header. See, the earlier header was placed by 4, level 4, to the actual message. So now at layer 3, there is message already, which is divided into M1 and M2. So the divided part M1 will have the H4 header from layer 4, and one more header will be added for layer 3. And now it comes to layer 2, it will again add some header and trailer. H2 is the header and there will be trailer, same for message 1 and message 2. Now this will be sent to the physical machine or the communication path. And when it goes, there will be stripping off, trimming will go on. When it goes from layer 1 to layer 2 to layer 3, the layer 2 header work is done, so here H2 will be removed. When it goes from layer 3 to layer 4, layer 3 has already done with the header 3, so header 3 will be removed. There will be only header 4 remained, and finally there will be combination of message M, and then it will be finally delivered to the actual layer 5 protocol peering machines. So the lower part or lower layer of protocol or lower protocols, they are normally implemented in hardware or firmware. So when you open the mobile, you see that some message will come initial to your opening. That is the firmware I'm talking.